Commander Ryan sat in the pilot's seat of the small rescue ship, vigilant. His eyes were sharp, scanning the deep black of space outside the thick window. Around him, the quiet hum of the ship's engines was the only sound. His crew of 5 worked calmly at their stations, but there was a shared excitement in the air. Suddenly, the ship's communication console beeped loudly. Ryan's second-in-command, Lieutenant Mara, leaned forward and pressed a button. A weak, crackling voice came through the speakers. "This is the Ardent Star. Distress signal. System Nerath. Survivors. Urgent help needed." Ryan's heart quickened. Nerath was a remote star system, far beyond the usual patrol zones. It was near a dangerous asteroid belt, a place where many ships had been lost. To unseen dangers. No one had ever sent a distress call from there before. "Prepare for immediate jump," Ryan ordered. "This could be survivors. We must act fast." The crew moved quickly, checking systems and readying the ship for the long jump through hyperspace. Mara gave a small smile. "Commander, this could be our chance to save lives. I know the risks, but I'm ready." Ryan nodded. "Good, stay sharp. We don't know what's waiting for us out there." Moments later, the ship surged forward, stars stretching into long lines as they slipped into hyperspace. The ship shook slightly as it entered the dangerous region near Nerath. Asteroids drifted slowly, giant and jagged, blocking the view of distant suns. The ship's sensors were active, searching for the exact source of the distress call. The crew watched the blinking lights on their consoles, waiting for a signal stronger than the background noise. Suddenly, the main sensor screen flickered. "Commander," said Mara, her voice tense, "we're picking up unusual energy readings. Something's moving fast around us." Ryan leaned closer. The screen showed strange shapes darting near the ship, shadows that appeared and disappeared in the dark space between asteroids. "Could be space debris," one of the crew suggested. "No," Ryan said firmly. "These readings aren't like the debris I've seen. They're too fast, too alive." The ship's small alarms began to beep softly. The lights flickered for a moment, but everything seemed under control. Still, the feeling of unease grew heavier. Ryan gave the order. "Maintain course, but prepare for possible attack. Shields up and weapons ready." Minutes passed. The shadows moved closer, circling the vigilant. The crew grew quiet, tension filling the air like thick smoke. Then suddenly, without warning, a bright flash of light struck the ship's hull. The vigilant shuddered violently. Warning sirens blared. "Impact on the port side," yelled the engineer, tearing buttons off a console to stabilize the ship. "Hull integrity dropping." Ryan gripped the armrests. "Report. What hit us?" "Unknown energy weapon," the engineer said, voice strained. "No visual contact yet. Try to raise a shield boost," Ryan shouted. The ship's systems struggled, fighting to keep the shields up against the invisible enemy. Communication with the outside world was lost. The distress signal suddenly stopped. Ryan looked at Mara. "We've been hit hard. No response." From command, the crew worked quickly to repair damage, but the sense of danger was clear. Something was hunting them, and it was waiting in the darkness. Ryan stared out into space, eyes searching the shadows between asteroids. He felt a cold chill. This mission was no simple rescue anymore. The last thing the crew saw before silence fell was a flash of something huge moving quickly across the sensor screen. Then everything went dark. The vigilant drifted silently through the dark space near Nerath. The ship's lights flickered weakly and a soft alarm sounded in the control room. Commander Ryan stood by the main console, his face tense. The sudden attack had left their ship damaged. The communication system was offline. They were alone in a strange, dangerous place. "Status report," Ryan said firmly. Lieutenant Mara checked the console. "Shields are weak but holding. Engines running at half power. Communications are dead, no signal going in or out." Ryan's jaw tightened. "Can we fix it?" The engineer, a young man named Jex, shook his head. "Not right now. We need parts from the storage bay, but the corridor there lost power during the attack. It's too dangerous." Suddenly, the ship's sensors beeped again. This time, the readings were clearer. "Commander," Mara said, "there are multiple contacts nearby. They're fast, but not on any known frequencies. Ryan frowned. Unknown ships? Enemy? The crew watched the sensor screen. Dark shapes moved quickly among the asteroids. They seemed to be hunting. We need to move, Ryan said. But with limited power, we're sitting ducks. The ship creaked as the hull stressed under damage. Outside the window, the stars were hidden behind thick clouds of asteroid debris. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed through the ship. Everyone froze. What was that? One crew member whispered. Ryan's eyes narrowed. Someone, or something, is trying to board us. The emergency doors sealed automatically. But the knocking continued, louder and more urgent. Mara moved to the scanner. I'm detecting a life form. Multiple. Outside the ship, they're not human. Ryan's heart raced. Prepare weapons. If they board, we fight. The crew armed themselves, gripping laser rifles tightly. The air grew colder as tension filled the room. Outside, the knocking stopped. Silence returned. Then, without warning, the ship's lights went out. Darkness swallowed the vigilant. Ryan reached for his flashlight, but it flickered weakly. Stay calm, he ordered. Check. All systems. Find the power loss. Suddenly, a voice crackled faintly over the emergency radio. Commander! Help. Trapped. Ryan froze. It was a human voice. Weak, but real. Where are you? He asked quickly. Airlock 3. Please hurry. Ryan turned to Mara. We have survivors, but this could be a trap. The crew moved fast, armed, and cautious toward the dark corridors of the ship. The mission had changed. What started as a rescue was now a fight for survival. Commander Ryan led his team carefully through the dark, damaged corridors of the Vigilant. Their flashlights cut through the shadows, but the silence was heavy and strange. Stay close, Ryan whispered. We don't know what's waiting for us. They reached Airlock 3. The door was jammed, but Jex quickly worked to open it. With a hiss, the airlock slid open, revealing a narrow corridor outside, empty and quiet. Suddenly, a weak voice called out, Help me. Please. Ryan's team rushed outside and found a man lying on the floor. His uniform was torn and he looked exhausted and scared. Who are you? Ryan asked. My name is Hale, the man said, coughing. I was part of the lost colony on Nerath. We sent the distress signal, but it was a trick. Ryan frowned. A trick? What do you mean? Hale's eyes were filled with fear. The signal was a trap. The colony was attacked by creatures. They hunt humans. I was hiding, waiting for rescue. Suddenly, a strange noise echoed from the nearby rocks. Something moved fast, too fast to see clearly. Hide! Ryan shouted. The team scrambled behind large boulders as shadowy shapes darted past. The creatures were hunting, silent but deadly. Ryan looked at Hale. Can, you help us get off this planet? Hale nodded weakly. There is a hidden shuttle, but it's far, through dangerous territory. Ryan clenched his fists. We have no choice. We must reach that shuttle. The team prepared to move, weapons ready. As they stepped forward, strange creatures howled in the distance. The hunt was not over. Ryan's rescue mission had become a desperate fight to survive and escape the trap waiting on Nerath. Commander Ryan and his team moved quickly through the rocky terrain, following Hale's shaky directions. The dark sky above was filled with heavy clouds, and the wind howled like a warning. We need to keep moving, Ryan said, looking back to see if the creatures were following. Behind them, strange noises echoed, soft footsteps, low growls, and whispers of something stalking in the shadows. Jex held his weapon tight. I don't like this, they're closing in. Suddenly, a large shape leaped from the darkness, landing near the team. Ryan fired his pulse rifle, but the creature dodged with frightening speed and disappeared again into the night. Hale gasped. They're faster than we thought. We can't stop now. The team climbed steep cliffs and crossed narrow ledges, every step dangerous. Ryan's heart pounded, not just from the climb, but from the fear of what might be waiting in the dark. Ahead, a faint light flickered. The shuttle. Hale said weakly. Just then, a powerful roar tore through the silence. The ground shook as more creatures appeared, their eyes glowing red. Ryan shouted, "Run! Don't look back!" The rescue team sprinted towards the shuttle, with the creatures chasing closely behind. Rocks fell and the wind screamed, making it hard to hear. When they finally reached the shuttle, the door was locked tight. Jex worked quickly to override the controls, sweat dripping from his brow. Come on," he muttered. Behind them, the creatures were almost upon them. With a loud beep, the door opened. The team rushed inside just as claws scraped the hull. Ryan slammed the door shut and powered up the shuttle's engines. As the craft lifted off, the creatures howled in frustration below. Inside the shuttle, the team was safe, for now. But Ryan knew this was only the beginning of a dangerous fight. The trap had been sprung, and they had barely escaped. Inside the shuttle, the team caught their breath. The hum of the engines filled the quiet cabin. Outside, Nerath's dark surface disappeared beneath the stars. Ryan looked at Hale. "Tell me everything. What really happened to the colony?" Hale's eyes were tired but steady. "We were sent to build a research base. At first, everything was normal, but soon, strange creatures started attacking. We fought back, but they were too many. And too smart," Jex frowned. "Why did the distress call feel like a trap?" Hale swallowed hard. "Because it was. The creatures learned to mimic human signals. They wanted to lure rescuers here, then kill them." Ryan clenched his jaw. "We walked right into their plan." Suddenly, the shuttle's alarms blared. "Incoming signal," Jex shouted. On the screen, a strange ship appeared, large, black, and silent. "Enemy vessel," Ryan said grimly. "They've followed us." The crew prepared for battle, hearts racing. But then, a calm voice came through the comms. "Commander Ryan, this is Captain Mira of the Galactic Federation. We received your distress call. Help is on the way." Relief washed over the team. But Ryan wasn't sure if it was real or another trap. He looked at his crew and said, "Get ready. The danger isn't over yet." The shuttle shook as the enemy vessel closed in fast. Inside, Commander Ryan and his crew prepared for the fight. "Shields up. Weapons ready," Ryan ordered. Jex aimed the ship's laser cannons at the dark ship. "They're coming in hard. We need to hold them off until help arrives." Outside, bright blasts lit the black space. The enemy ship fired powerful beams, trying to break through the shuttle's shields. Ryan gritted his teeth. "We can't let them capture us." Suddenly, the ship jolted. An explosion rocked the cabin. Alarms screamed. Lights flickered. Hale checked the controls, sweat on his forehead. "Engines are damaged. We're losing speed." "Keep firing," Ryan shouted. "We have to survive." Just then, a fleet of ships appeared on the horizon. Federation reinforcements. "Help is here." Mira's voice crackled over the comms. The battle grew louder, lasers flashing everywhere. The enemy ship tried to escape but was quickly surrounded. With a final blast, the enemy ship exploded in a shower of sparks. The shuttle crew cheered, but Ryan knew the fight was not over. "This was just the beginning," he said, looking ahead, to the unknown dangers still waiting in space. The enemy ship was destroyed, but Commander Ryan knew danger still lurked. "We survived the attack," Ryan said. "But who sent that trap? And why?" Mira's fleet secured the area. "We'll investigate the source of the signal," she promised. Inside the shuttle, the crew rested briefly, but Ryan's mind was racing. Suddenly, the communication panel beeped. An encrypted message appeared. Ryan opened it carefully. The message was clear and chilling. "Next time you won't be so lucky." Ryan clenched his fists. "This is bigger than we thought." Hale nodded. "We've been hunted, and the hunt is far from over." As the crew prepared to leave Nerath, Ryan made a silent vow. "No more innocent lives will be lost. We will find the enemy, wherever they hide." The stars outside twinkled cold and distant. The rescue mission had turned into a deadly game. But Commander Ryan was ready to fight until the very end.